Volleyball.
And good morning. Welcome into the Denver Coliseum and welcome into Class 1A State Volleyball on CHSAA.tv. I'm Ben Blecka. Very glad you've joined us. 15 matches in just more than 36 hours. And we kick it off with the number 8 Eads Eagles and the number 12 Dove Creek Bulldogs. It's going to be an exciting contest coming into this one. This is out of Pool 1 in 1A, which will also feature the number 1 overall seed, the Weldon Valley Warriors. Weldon Valley will take on Dove Creek this morning around 11 a.m. in match number 3. Pool number 2 will feature Caliche, Stratton, and Flagler. Pool number 3, Otis, Norwood, and Kit Carson. And pool number 4, High Plains, Fleming, and Wiley. Semifinals tomorrow afternoon. You come into this contest, and both of these teams coming as most Class 1A teams do with relatively short rosters, just 10 on the Eads Eagles side, just 11 on the Dove Creek Bulldog side, but that does not mean these teams are not talented. One senior on the Dove Creek roster listed, that's Brianna Graffis, and for the Eads Eagles, one senior, that's Marissa Dixon. So two young teams that will be up and coming. The Dove Creek Bulldogs will be in the blue jerseys, going right to left here in set number 1, and they will start with the serve in the hands of Jennifer Fury, the 5'6" junior. Eagles will be in their purple. Be moving left to right here in the first. And the first serve in the 2012 state volleyball tournament is underway. The Eads Eagles, with their 2-hit violation on the free ball from Dorian Ray, their libero, will give the first point to the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Serve once again down the middle, be popped up on the back row for the Eads Eagles. A far side swing from Tanya Hansen. The 6'1" sophomore outside gets the first kill of the contest as she puts it down. And onto the floor for the Dove Creek Bulldogs comes their libero, Kristen Knuckles. Serve from the Eagles came from Haley Ray. Near side swing will come from Jennifer Guinness of the Dove Creek Bulldogs, and she puts it down for the first Bulldog kill of the contest to make it 2-1 Dove Creek here in the first. Bulldogs take the serve from Carissa Guinness, and the far side swing off the back line tip from Hansen once again for the Eads Eagles. And the Eagles will take the serve and hand it to their libero, Dorian Ray. 5'2" junior. She can also set some for this Eads Eagle team. Puts it down the far side. Middle swing for the first time in this match. Shelby Knuckles gets the kill for the Dove Creek Bulldogs, and Shelby Knuckles will give the Bulldogs the lead 3-2 here in the opening game. Guinness with the first serving error of the contest. Bulldogs put it into the net. Scott Knuckles, the head coach for Dove Creek. As the Eagles take the serve and fly it deep. McCourt with the swing, near line, nice up by Haley Ray. Ball chased down, and the Eagles will get a free back over. Middle swing once again for Dove Creek. Knuckles puts it too wide and out. The Eagles take the point and are able to square it up. They'll hand it to Hansen, their 6'1" sophomore. Both these teams burying deep serves so far in this contest. Interesting to see if they go short as the match progresses. Near side swing on the line by Kaylin Lane for the Eads Eagles. Puts it over the top and down. So Eads takes their 5-3 lead in this contest. The swing's too big and out on Dove Creek's side, this time on a hitting error from Madison McCourt. And Eads on a nice little roll, a 3-0 run. First trip for Eads since the early 90s to the state tournament. Last time Dove Creek was here was in 2008. They got into a California tiebreak that year. Middle swing for the Bulldogs from Guinness, and the big attack, a 2-hit violation on the set for Eads on Brittany Newman, their setter. That ends the run. Eads with a 2-point advantage here early in game number 1. Dove Creek with a serve from Shelby Knuckles. Kaylin Lane. Pardon me, that was not Kaylin Lane. That was Marissa Dixon with the attack down the middle, and the free ball too big and out for Dove Creek. And Eads maintains that 3-point advantage. Brittany Newman will step back with a serve. She punches it very deep. Chased down by Kristen Knuckles for Dove Creek, and they'll free it over with Jennifer Fury. Easy pop and a set down the middle for a second straight point. Marissa Dixon gets a swing on the middle. Blocked. Far side swing from Kaylin Lane. Blocked back by Madison Young. And Dove Creek will take the point. Got to have a good blocking game to be successful in this atmosphere. Especially if you're a team like Dove Creek that's going to have to play 2 matches in roughly a span of 5 hours. Maybe less. 3 free back over from Eads off the serve receive, and Dove Creek's back within 1 here in the first. Keep the serve with Madison Young, the 5'9 junior. She puts it down the middle, too big and out. That's a factor on a big swing, on these big serves that these teams are going to have to get accustomed to. You get so much energy in this environment. You play balls that you should not be playing. Haley Ray with the serve. The attack down the middle from Dove Creek, nicely chased down by Eads, but could not get it. That'll go down as a kill for Madison McCourt. And Dove Creek will look for the tie. Keeping the serve with McCourt. She'll punch it down the middle, fielded by Chelsea Crosby for the Eagles. Far side swing for Ebony Nash. She's one of the top hitters on the team, but a violation tagged on the Eads Eagles. And off the floor will come Newman. Alyssa Splinter will come on and be the setter for the Eagles this go around. Ball line down the middle. That's going to be an ace for the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Our state tournament coverage is presented in part by College in Colorado. Explore your career options from sports broadcasting to electrician to nurse. Take a virtual campus tour of a college and find aid at coloradoincollege.org. That's coloradoincollege.org, a service error for the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Will hand the Eads Eagles the serve at 9-all here in game number 1. Kaylin Lane with the serve for Eads. Near side swing will come from Jessica Guinas. Her attack dug out back row by the Eads Eagles. Big swing back and down by Hansen for the Eads Eagles. Hansen, she's got some nice ability. Dove Creek's not gone right at her. I think she definitely could affect this game in the blocking capacity as well. Eagles up by 1. Kaylin Lane will line the serve down the middle. Middle swing will come from Jennifer Fury, tipped off the block. Hansen, far side 10-foot line swing, bangs it off the block. Back-to-back kills for the sophomore. Kaylin Lane, deep serve once again. Shelby Knuckles with the nice field to give Jennifer Fury a nice tag. Good chase down by Dorian Ray on the back row. 3 free back over by the Eads Eagles. Set on the near side, the swing from the Bulldogs, and Jessica Guinas will be deep, popped up. The attack topped over the top of the block by the Bulldogs, and trying to get cute was Madison Young, and she tipped it into the net. Dove Creek Bulldogs and their head coach, Scott Knuckles, will take a timeout. 12-9 Eads here in game number 1. Adams State University celebrates a diverse student population, academic excellence, and athletic success. ASU is focused on treating each student as a unique individual with the potential to positively contribute to their community, nation, and the world. For more information, visit adams.edu. That's adams.edu. Our state tournament coverage is also brought to you in part by Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. They'll be there the day you buy your first car, the day your first child is born, and the day you file your first claim. They'll be there to make sure your insurance coverage keeps you up with all the changes in your life. Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. Get real coverage from Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. I'm Ben Blecka. This is the state volleyball tournament. And the Eads Eagles with an early advantage. And our first timeout taken by the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Serve will go deep, fielded back row. by the Bulldogs, and they'll free ball it deep. Chased down by Durian Ray for the Eagles. Blocked back is the attack of Hanson. Good double stuff there for the Dove Creek Bulldogs by Carissa Guinness and Jennifer Fury. Fury will take the serve, down by 2. Hanson with the swing, tipped over the top of the block. She's gone nothing but power in this match. The Dove Creek Bulldogs paired back, and she saw the opening. That was not a play by somebody with a sophomore mentality on the volleyball court. Called by a service error, however, Haley Ray mishit the ball. Fluttered into her own front row. And Carissa Guinness will take the serve for the Dove Creek Bulldogs. She'll fly it down the middle. Hanson, far side swing. She actually took the hit over the top of Alyssa Splinter. It was a fake on the middle and then the far side, and Hanson and Splinter ended up together. And because Hanson is 6'1" and Splinter is 5'6", Hanson got the attack. 14-11 Eads. Back to serve for a second time in this game one is Dorian Ray, and she'll pick up an ace to take this to a 4-point advantage here in the first. Line serve will go deep. Ball popped up high, back row. And a 2-hit violation on the set attempt from a non-setter on the Dove Creek side. Makes it a 5-point advantage. Short serve on the front row, diving dig out, but it's going to drop down. Very smart play by Durian Ray right there. Libero to flutter a short serve in. Serve down the near line will be popped up for Dove Creek, and a middle tip from the Bulldogs. Joust at the net, won by the Eagles, and Alyssa Splitter puts it down. And Eads at 18-11. Got a point out of the timeout, and then she kind of fluttered there. Set down the middle, big swing off the block of the net. Ball popped up high. Joust tipped off the block and down and in for a kill by Marissa Dixon. Sub on here for the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Joey Fisher will come in. As continuing to serve is Dorian Ray, the libero. Ray lines the ball down the near side, popped up high, back row. The free ball be fluttered over by Shelby Knuckles. Far side swing from Hanson. Off the block goes Hanson's attack. And a nice quick tip back, and down the middle goes Knuckles for the Bulldogs. But a quick return by the Eagles, and Marissa Dixon tip back off the block from Madison Young. Nice back and forth rally. Hanson through the block and down and in. This is a pretty dangerous front row for Eads right here. You have 6-foot Marissa Dixon. You have 6'1" Tanya Hanson. And you get a timeout by the Dove Creek Bulldogs, their second of this one. State volleyball coverage is presented to you in part by Viero Wireless. They offer the best coverage. 4G is here, and it's fast. Find out more at Viero.com. That's Viero.com. 1A State Volleyball action. I'm Ben Bleckhead. Match number 1 of 8 matches today on CHSAA.tv. 7 matches tomorrow. New format this year with 4 3-team pools instead of 2 4-team pools. Got some extra teams into the tournament. As the serve continues for Eads and Dorian Ray. Set down the middle, the tip over the top of the block. Ball chased down far side. The tip by Hanson over, diving dig over and out. Nice play by Hanson to get another kill for the Eads Eagles. It's now an 8-0 run for the Eagles. The Bulldogs are out of timeouts. Not a whole lot they can do here in this first game. Ray's got a line serve near side. Bulldogs are fielding it well. but just not getting good swings. Shelby Knuckles with the attack. Ball hammered into the net by Hansen. That's her first hitting error of the match. But her team with an 8-point advantage. 9-point advantage. I can't do math. That's why I broadcast. The officials having to discuss who the captain is. Apparently the Bulldogs subbed their listed captain off. So got that squared away, and Carissa Guinness with the serve. Rotation violation on the Dove Creek side. Wrong player was serving, apparently. So Lee goes out to 10, and Hansen will take the serve for Eads, just 3 points away. They get the lineup squared away on the Dove Creek side, and the Eagles will line the serve from Hansen down the middle. Far side set for the Bulldogs, and Shelby Knuckles, nicely played. A lift on the back row will result in the kill. Eagles showing a lot of hustle. And the Bulldogs with the serve once again. Far side set and a tip over the top of the block from Kaylin Lane. And the free ball back onto the Eads side from the Bulldogs. Down the middle, the attack for Marissa Dixon off the block. It will go down on a 2-hit violation. So no kill there, but it is a point for the Eads Eagles. Serve once again from the Bulldogs, and Shelby Knuckles set over the net by the Eads Eagles. 3 free back over by Dove Creek. Set near side, the attack hammered deep from Alyssa Splitter. Ball misplayed down the middle by the Dove Creek Bulldogs, and Eads is 2 points away from taking the first. Bulldogs will bring Jennifer Fury back in. Splitter back with the serve. Fury will take the attack down the middle. Eagles will put it back up for Marissa Dixon, who puts it down with authority and gets us to game point. 24-14. Ball line down the middle. Popped up by Dove Creek. They'll free it into the block and a lift ball. Smart play there by Madison McCourt, the junior, for Dove Creek. And the tip into the block at the net, and into the net went Marissa Dixon. So Dove Creek is back within 8, gaining a little momentum. Even if they fall in this set, that's not necessarily going to be a bad thing. Line serve far side, high pop-up. The far side swing from Eads and Haley Ray, 2 wide and out, and Eads has given them momentum here. And Stephanie Bolender, the head coach for Eads, up to motivate her team. Bulldogs serve down by 7. Far side set, and the attack banged off the block by Kaylin Lane. Kept up down the middle. Dixon with the attack near side. Shelby Knuckles will pop it up and tip it back down. Bump free over by the Eads Eagles, and she went under the net. Did Haley Ray, and Dove Creek is within 6. They led by as many as 11 here in this first. Dove Creek gaining momentum heading to the second. Dixon with the attack, banged off the block, and that will end the first. Dove Creek gaining some momentum, 25-18. The second coming back after this on CHSAA.tv. Back here at the Denver Coliseum, we head to the second. The Eads Eagles and the Dove Creek Bulldogs in the opening match of the day. The Eads Eagles taking the first 25-18. Eagles now moving left to right here in the second. The Dove Creek Bulldogs field the serve to start it out. Too big and out for Jennifer Fury, and Eads takes the opening point. Service error for the Eads Eagles. We'll tie it up. We went back and forth in the opening set until an 8-0 run, by the Eads Eagles, and I believe it was 11-2, gave them the advantage. Dove Creek went on a 5-1 run to end it before Eads was able to put it down. Hansen too wide and out on her attack. The Dove Creek Bulldogs with a nice swing off the block and down from Madison Young. Take a 3-1 advantage. Line serve far side. Haley Ray keeps it up, and Hansen will free it down the middle. Madison Young pops it up. The tip over the top of the block by Shelby Knuckles. Will go down and in for the kill, and Dove Creek takes significant advantage. You tail it back. This is a 9-2 run for Dove Creek. In that first set, make it 10-2 on a lift ball ace from Jennifer Fury. Line serve down the middle, ball popped up, and a free ball back over by the Eads Eagles. A little disheveled here in the second. Shelby Knuckles with a nice attack down the middle. Hansen on the near post with the attack for the Eads Eagles. Knuckles back down the middle again over the top of the block. Those are the two best hitters for their respective teams. 2-hit violation on the set for the Eads Eagles as the dig was a little offline for Eads and caused them to force their setter to run and get tagged on the violation. Hansen off the near post with a big swing. Nice tool off the block and able to get it to go down, and the Eads Eagles in the run for Dove Creek. It was an 11-2 run. Down the middle of the attack, hammered deep by Shelby Knuckles, and a ping pong shot back over from Eads. Near post hanging and popping is Carissa Gwines. And then back to Hansen, but a 2-hit violation on the misplayed set once again. On to serve for Dove Creek comes Carissa Gwines. And the Eagles with a splitter attack on the far side, able to put it down. Eagles trying to get the run. As the 8 seed, they only have this match today. They will play tomorrow morning against Weldon Valley, the number 1 overall seed. Dove Creek has to face that number 1 overall seed with just one match off after this one. Hansen with the attack, hammers it into the net. Well played set that time. Hansen just took a little slow approach to the net. She's been taking quick steps. She chopped her steps coming to the net that time. Jessica Gwines will take the serve and line it far side. Hansen off speed over the top of the block. Jessica Gwines digs it out. Far side attack. Madison McCourt. And Hansen will get the swing back for Eads and hammer it into the net again. Chopping her steps. Just not looking comfortable right now for the Eads Bulldogs. Look very comfortable in the first, and the Eads Eagles are going to take a timeout. Our state tournament coverage is presented in part by College in Colorado. Explore your career options from sports broadcasting to electrician to nurse or whatever else you want. Take a virtual campus tour of college and find financial aid at collegeincolorado.org. That's collegeincolorado.org. Next match will pit the Fleming Wildcats against the Wiley Panthers. Match after that, the Weldon Valley Warriors and the Dove Creek Bulldogs will be back on. High Plains Patriots and the Wiley Panthers are match 4. Our afternoon session features Caliche Flagler, Otis Kit Carson, Stratton Flagler, and Norwood Kit Carson. Eads' second match ought to be around 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. They will take on Weldon Valley. Warrior team lost in the regional round last weekend. In surprising fashion, their first loss to a 1A team this year. It's a tough matchup, but this Eads team has the weapons to handle it. 3 free back over from the Dove Creek Bulldogs, 2 big and out. You get in this state tournament environment having not been here before, like these Dove Creek players or these Eads players have, you have a little trouble keeping your energy level down, and a free ball goes way too long. Stuff block at the net by Marissa Dixon. That is the one area of the game you always see in these early state tournament matchups that are successful is the blocking game, because that is something that takes a lot of energy. Hansen with the serve for the Eads Eagles. She gets a lift ball ace, and Eads crawls back within 3 here in the second, up 1-0 after taking the first, 25-18. Hansen was part of that 11-2 run in the first. On serve. Down the middle, Dixon with the attack for the Eads Eagles. They're attacking the outside hitter in the back row are the Eads Eagles, and it's really limiting this Dove Creek offense. Hitting error by Kaylin Lane will give Dove Creek the serve back. When Shelby Knuckles is in the back row, or when Jennifer Fury, I guess they're listed as the middles, at least in the program. Now they are the middle, so they're attacking the middle in the back row for Dove Creek and taking that backside out of play are the Eads Eagles. Hitting error, you got to get it onto that side to put that strategy into effect. Dove Creek up by 5. Shelby Knuckles with the serve deep once again. Ball chased down by Chelsea Crosby and a free ball. Played over by Marissa Dixon. Set down the middle, ball tipped off the block at the net by Madison McCourt. Far side set for Fury, and she'll free it down the line. Near side swing by Kaylin Lane over the top of the block. Diving dig out. Nice hustle on the front row by Carissa Gwines, and then the free ball came from Madison McCourt. The re-attack back, too big from Marissa Dixon. Eagles haven't been here. I think it's 92 was the last time the Eads Eagles were here. So serve fielded by the Eads Eagles, and down the middle Dixon, again too big and out. Just way too much energy, and a timeout by Stephanie Bolander for the Eads Eagles as Dove Creek has grown a 7-point advantage here at the state volleyball tournament. High school students can start their college education and earn high school credits through Adams State University's early college and concurrent enrollment programs. Online courses are offered throughout Colorado. For more information, visit exstudies.adams.edu. That's exstudies.adams.edu. We're glad parents, fans, friends, family, whoever you may be, are tuned in on CHSAA.tv. Every match, every court, all weekend long from the state volleyball tournament. Looking around, Resurrection Christian has a 1-0 lead on the 2A court. That is on top of Telluride. Eads Eagles with the attack far side. Nice pancake out by Shelby Knuckles. And the attack too wide by the Dove Creek Bulldogs. So Eagle timeout will give them an opportunity as Alyssa Splitter comes on to serve. She'll fly it deep. Ball set up in the attack over the top of the block. Nicely played far side by Jennifer Fury. Dorian Ray did her best Superman impression. Laid out to try and get that one. Just could not keep it in play as Dove Creek brings Anna Lee on. I think this is the first time the 5'5 sophomore has been on in this match. Serve clips the net and will drop in as an ace off the hand of Madison Young, the 5'9 junior. Eagles will make a sub as Brittany Newman's going to check on. And Madison Young will be given the go-ahead to serve. Young lines the ball deep. Set on the far side in the attack for Marissa Dixon. Tip back row for Dove Creek and Kristen Knuckles. Bumps that up and the free ball. No, they're going to get an attack down the middle. Does not crawl the net from Marissa Dixon, the 6-foot senior. Or sophomore, senior, able to put it into the net. And back to serve will go Madison Young. Tip, far line, dropped it in on the line there. Nicely played by Kaylin Lane for the Eads Eagles. Dove Creek, though, holding that 8-point advantage, trying to even us at one apiece. Line attack down the near side for the Eagles. It's not going to be an ace. The second it was touched, but it went down, so Marissa Dixon able to put the points down and cut the lead to 7. She'll line it near side, split the front row, dropped it in for an ace again, down to 6. Line serve deep, just too deep, and now got some spin on that line down the far side, but could not catch the back line. As Knuckles will come back on for the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Pardon me, Fury. Back to serve Madison McCourt. Set up near side, swing for Ebony Nash off the block, tried to wing it out on the front row, got tagged with a lift. And Dove Creek back up to an 18-point advantage, or an 8-point advantage, 18-10. Nash with the attack, hammered into the net. The 5'9 sophomore, Ebony Nash. Blocked well. She's been paired against Jennifer Fury this whole match and hasn't gotten a whole lot of attacks. Ball pings back and forth. A high floater at the net, attacked by Fury. Dugout back row, and the Eagles will free it back over. Far side swing from Jessica Gwines. Dugout, set down the middle for Nash. She'll tip it near side. Ball kept in play and a 2-hit violation on the set attempt as the dig was a line shot. Hansen will check back on for the Eads Eagles as Kaylin Lane goes back to serve. Floater over the top of the block by the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Set near side. Hansen puts it off the block. She's getting a lot of power, is the sophomore, as Dove Creek's going to take a timeout with their lead cut down to 7. And she's jumping straight up. A lot of what you want to do, you want to be jumping into the attack at the net to give yourself more momentum, more power on the swing. And she's jumping straight up. I can only imagine her attack when she gets that development. As out of the timeout, the Eads Eagles will have to serve, and Kaylin Lane. Far side set, the attack, big and out from Jessica Gwines. Lead cut down to 6. Eads continues on their run. Bulldogs trying to terminate this, and even as it one apiece, nice stuff block back at the net. That's why Ebony Nash is paired in front of Jennifer Fury. She can block like that. Line serve deep. Once again from the Eagles. Again, Fury blocked at the net by Nash. Punched over. Ball hooked up off the back row. Hanson near side swing. And a free ball back over from Carissa Gwines and cannot be chased down by Dorian Ray, the libero for Eads. Line serve deep, 2 deep and out by Jennifer Fury. Put your primary outside on the back row. And she went one and done on serve. Got to get these points here. At the net, the block, and at the net, Nash will result in the point as she blocked Shelby Knuckles, who ended up in the net trying to dig the ball out. Leads cut down to 4, 20-16. Far side swing for Dove Creek from Jessica Gwines. Ball chased down back row by Dorian Ray. Near side Hanson, big swing. And Kristen Knuckles digs it out. Far side floater tipped over. Running bumps that up near side. And Hanson will pop it over the top of the block, and it can't be kept in play. Hanson coming up with another kill and cutting the lead down to 3. And Dove Creek going to take another timeout. See if we can look around and give you some scores on the other courts so far in Class 2A. Telluride about ready to even it up at 1 apiece with Res Christian. Manitou Springs took the first set off Holy Family, but Holy Family up in the second on Class 4A, or 3A, pardon me. Class 4A, Durango took the first set, but Silver Creek's up in the second. And Chatfield, the 12 overall seed, is up 2-0 on Highlands Ranch. Here on the 1A court, Dove Creek up 1-0. Frees the ball back over on the Eads side, fielded by Hanson. Free ball back over by Alyssa Splitter. Big swing at the net and down by Shelby Knuckles as she's able to pick up the kill. So the timeout pays off that time for Dove Creek. And Hanson with the swing, knocked off the block and gets the kill. So trading points right now are the two. Back to serve goes Dorian Ray for the Eads Eagles. Set up in the attack by Shelby Knuckles. Blocked at the net by Dixon. Freed back over, chased down, and Hanson with a nice tip free over. Dove Creek will free it back over with Jessica Guinan. Near side attack from Hanson off the block. Down the middle, and Shelby Knuckles. Her attack popped up by Haley Bray. Hanson with the attack far side, gets another kill, cuts that lead down to 2. Short serve off the Eagles near side, popped up high, and a free ball off the block at the net. And the attack into the net results in a 4-hit violation. And back to serve for Dove Creek, back up by 3. Goes Jessica Gwines. A hitting error at the net by Hanson. She had one hitting error the entire first set. Here in the second, that's her 4th. Tip down the line, not touched. Marissa Dixon with the hitting error takes us to set point. 24-19 in favor of Dove Creek to even us at 1 apiece. Jessica Gwine with the serve. Ball popped up. Set far side. Hansen bangs it off the block. Kept in play. Joust at the net. Won by Dove Creek and Madison Young. And Dove Creek evens us at 1 apiece in the opening match of the Class 1A State Volleyball Tournament, 25-19. We'll be back with the second after this on CHSAA.tv. We head to the third, 1 apiece here on CHSAA.tv. I'm Ben Bleck of the Eads Eagles, the Dove Creek Bulldogs in the opening match of the Class 1A State Volleyball Tournament. The Dove Creek Bulldogs in the blue will be moving right to left here in the third and start with the serve. They will start with the serve in the hands of Jennifer Fury. Line serve deep. Hansen on the far side. Big swing down. 4 hitting errors for Hansen in that second. Somewhat of a struggle after only 1 in the first, but she starts with authority here in the third. Haley Ray back to serve, flies at far side. Down the middle, Shelby Knuckles with the big attack. Nicely dug out. Hansen with an off-speed attack. Kept in play by Dove Creek, and under the net, I believe, went the Dove Creek block. You're in an environment with 5 courts and, well, a lot of noise, a lot of whistles. The players didn't hear the whistle initially. 2-0 Dove Creek. Far side swing down and in for a kill from Shelby Knuckles. And Dove Creek will hand the serve to Carissa Wines. Wines the ball far side, popped up, back row, and attacked, but it was more of a free ball attack. There's a true free from Dove Creek and Madison Young. Far side, Hansen, big swing off the block and down and in for a kill. The Eads Eagles rolling right now. Back to serve goes Dorian Ray. Very different Eads team than what we saw in the second. A little bit passive on their offense in that second. Eagles on the near side, and the tip ball deep. Near side swing will come from Jessica Gwines. It'll be dug out back row by Dorian Ray. Far side Hansen hammered to the back corner. Ball may have been off the eye of one of the Dove Creek players. She kept it in play, though. Hansen will go right back toward her, off the block, and into the net she goes. Madison McCourt dug the ball out, and it looks like it may have caught her in the face on its way up. Back to serve for Dove Creek goes Jessica Gwines. Dig free back over by the Eads Eagles. Near side from Madison McCourt. Angled far line down and in for a kill for the Bulldogs. Big serve deep from the Bulldogs. Hansen with the attack from the near post this time. Kristen Knuckles, nice dig out. The attack nicely played out. Dorian Ray and a free ball be flying over. Set down the middle and right there with the stop block. Marissa Dixon on the attack down the middle from Shelby Knuckles. And Hansen will step back to serve. Set up far side, the attack tipped off the block. Bumped up high and the attack hammered deep, too deep and out. Line serve misplayed, back row, that's going to be an ace for the Dove Creek Bulldogs, and Shelby Knuckles the serve will be hammered deep. Two-hit violation on the set for the Eads Eagles. And the line serve will be played up on the front row. Down the middle, the Dove Creek attack from McCourt. Four-hit violation as she hammered it into the net. The Eagles will hand the serve to Brittany Newman. Newman with the attack, top deep. Far side attack for the Eads Eagles and Kaylin Lane. And the attack back by Madison McCourt, too big and out for Dove Creek, has given Eads the tie. Dove Creek having trouble getting their offense going as they free it back over down the middle. Marissa Dixon with the attack off the block. Dixon will re-attack and tip it on the far side, down and in for a kill. The Eads Eagles with a 7-6 advantage. Line serve, the attack hopping the net cord from Jennifer Fury, freed back over by the Eagles. Hopped up high, back row, and an attack from Kristen Knuckles will be checked up on the front side by the Eagles, and a free ball played down the line. Set in the attack down the middle from Madison McCourt. Did not get the tip, and the Eads Eagles on a 4-0 run have taken the advantage 8-6. Near side swing for the Dove Creek Bulldogs and Jennifer Fury. Tipped down. The attack popped over and then free back by the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Set far side. Line, nope. Two-hit violation on the set for the Eads Eagles. We've seen a lot of that in this match. And an illegal libero substitution, I believe, on the Dove Creek side. No, that was a correct substitution. After she checked on it, she was initially going to signal for that. Substitution ended up being correct after she checked her lineup card. So Dove Creek trying for the tie at 8 here in the third. They're going to get it on a misplayed serve receipt. 8-all. Ball line deep by the Bulldogs. And free back over and short. Set up near side. The attack over the top of the block of the net by Fury. Ball winged out, popped up high. And the Eagles going to get the attack, tipped back down deep. Jennifer Fury with the attack. Too big and out, and Dove Creek with a 9-8 lead now. Continuing with the serve, Madison Young. Young gets another point on a 2-hit violation for the Eagles and Haley Ray, and Eads going to take a timeout. People count on Farm Bureau Insurance for their quality product, fast, fair claim service, and insurance coverage that makes sense. That means you get the protection you need along with some of the best discounts available. People from every walk of life depend on Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance, and you can too. Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. Get real coverage. This is the 1A State Volleyball Tournament presented to you on CHSAA.tv. I'm Ben Blecka. Fleming and Wiley had their coin flip and will be match number 2 following this one. Fleming, of course, has played in the last 6 straight state championship games, but at 18-8 this year, not the favorite that they've been for a number of years. Field relatively even in the Class 1A side. Back to serve for the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Out of the timeout of Eads, and she's going to get an ace, is Madison Young. Young will line it down the middle once again. Set up in the attack, tipped over the top of the block by Kaylin Lane. Lane to get another attack after a free ball from Dove Creek. Far side, another free ball from Carissa Gwines. And Lane will tip it near side. Ball diving dug out, but cannot be kept in play, and the kill will go Kaylin Lane's way, and the Eads Eagles, down by 2, will take this serve back. Marissa Dixon with the serve here in the third. Carry on the free ball from Carissa Gwines. And Eads will look for the tie at 11. Attack at the net, into the net, and the hitting error for the Dove Creek Bulldogs will result in the tie. Sub on for Dove Creek, Caitlin Ayers will check in for the first time in this match. Ball line far side, kept in play in a free ball, chipped over by Dove Creek. Eagles players and Bulldog players both colliding with each other. Nice free play to the back row, and then the attack down the middle from Ebony Nash. She will get it to drop as it was misplayed off the dig. So Eads with the advantage here in the third, tied at 1 apiece between the 8 and 12 seeds in our opening matchups here at the State Volleyball Tournament. Line serve far side, drops in for an ace from Marissa Dixon. And Dixon's serve will be freed back over once again. Set down the middle for Nash. Her big swing, too big and out. Didn't time her jump right. And back to serve for Dove Creek goes Madison McCourt. Near side set on the attack for Kaylin Lane. She puts it off the block and down and in for a kill. Nice play by Kaylin Lane. She'll get the serve. And Hansen will come back on for the Eads Eagles. Lane punches it down the near side. Set up from Carissa Gwines, and the attack hammer deep from Jennifer Fury. Off the block and gets the tool kill. Line serve from the Bulldogs, hammer deep, set back onto the Dove Creek side, through the block at the net of Nash. Went Shelby Knuckles, and a free ball back over from Brittany Newman. Ball dug out back row, set down the middle, floater over the top of the block by Shelby Knuckles, and a two-hit violation on the receive has pulled us back to a tie here in the third. Jennifer Fury with the serve deep, ball winged out, and the attack from Ebony Nash will result in the kill. And Haley Ray back to serve for the Eads Eagles. The dig free over and then a carry down by Ebony Nash. She caught it behind her head and dumped it down is the call. So tied at 15. Carissa Gwines back with a serve for Dove Creek. Far side Hansen will take the big swing, banged off the block, kept in play, punched back down again by Shelby Knuckles, and a lift ball on the dig has given Dove Creek the lead. Line serve near side, lift ball ace, and Dove Creek has a 2-point advantage. A lot of two hits, a lot of lift balls. Timeout by the Eads Eagles taken here as they are watching their team a little disheveled. For complete coverage of the state volleyball tournament as well as the state football playoffs, it's one site you need to go to, coloradopreps.com. Great work done on coloradopreps.com to keep you up to date on everything that's happening, all classes, all corners of the state of Colorado. Believe it's been a decade in the making at coloradopreps.com. We're glad to say that the state volleyball tournament coverage will be right there for you all weekend long. Dove Creek here in the third trying to take a 2-1 lead after losing the first and losing it relatively convincingly. It was 25-18, but they gave up an 11-2 run middle to end of that set. But then turned around end of that first and beginning of the second and compiled an 11-2 run of their own in order to win the second 25-19. Ball line deep and a lift ball on the push over. And Dove Creek's lead grows to 3. Hansen with a swing far side, too big and out. The block faked the jump and then dropped down. She was hoping to tool it, and nothing could be done right there. She'd already come up with her approach and swung with too much power when the block didn't jump. Hansen steps back. She'll free it over in short. Set up in a big swing. Nash blocking the attack at the net of Shelby Knuckles. Knuckles will get a refree back over. Set far side Hansen. She'll use the block this time. Nicely played off the block by Jessica Gwines, and a free ball be played over by Knuckles. Set far side Hansen tipping it inside the block. Dig free back over. Hansen with the re-attack back. Popped up far side, and the attack into the block of Nash from Madison Young. Knuckles will tip it near line. Popped up high at the net. Nash with the attack. Hop in the net court. Ball dug out back row. Set on to the middle, and Knuckles will tip it, and Nash trying to block it at the net was coming down, had Brittany Newman behind her. Newman didn't say anything, otherwise Nash probably would not have reached back there. Got to talk in the game of volleyball. High fly deep. Far side swing for Hansen. The Eagles are down by 5. Bulldogs looking to make it 6, and they do. Nice hammer far side from Jessica Gwines, and a 21-15 advantage for Dove Creek here at the state volleyball tournament. Make it a 7-point advantage on an ace. And the line serve. Far side, the attack from Hansen down the line, caught the line, got the kill, and ended the run. Back to serve will go Dorian Ray, who spearheaded the 11-1 run in the first. They need one of those right now. Set down the middle in the attack. They're not going to get one. A nice kill from Shelby Knuckles for the Dove Creek Bulldogs. They're 2 points away from going up 2-1 after getting down 1-0. Hansen with a tip attack near side. Dug out by Kristen Knuckles for Dove Creek. Down the middle, Shelby Knuckles will take us to game point as Dove Creek gets another kill. Serve will stay in the hands of Jessica Gwines. Gwines lines the ball down the middle, popped up high, back row. Set far side for Dixon, hammers it into the net, and Dove Creek, after getting down in the first, is one set away from taking their first game at the state tournament. We'll be back with the fourth next on CHSAA.tv. Head to the fourth. The Eads Eagles will now try and battle from behind as the Dove Creek Bulldogs have won 25-19 and 25-16 in the last two. I'm Ben Blecka. Four-set coverage brought to you on CHSAA.tv by Viero. State Volleyball is presented by Viero with the best coverage. 4G is now here and it's fast. Find out more at Viero.com. That's Viaero.com. Service there by Eads to kick things off. So the Dove Creek Bulldogs win the serve to Jennifer Fury, who puts it down and in for an ace. And Dove Creek continuing to roll. Set down the middle, joust at the net, stuffed down by Madison Young. Dove Creek will play Weldon Valley, the number 1 overall seed, in match 3 of the day. And if they can continue to find this momentum that they've gotten in Eads, they're not playing like a 12 seed, that's for sure. Set far side tip over the top of the block of the net by Shelby Knuckles. Far side swing, and Jessica Gwines will hammer it down. Dug back over by the Eads Eagles. Punch free back over by Madison Young. Chase down and Hansen with the attack, hammered deep. Ball set far side and punch over the top of the block. They're going to come to Hansen on the near post once again. Hansen toward the net that time. Haven't seen a good approach from her since the first. She's been chopping her steps. That time got a nice approach to the near post and got a great swing. There's a lot of factors that go into the game of volleyball. Approach, maybe one of the more important ones. Lift ball on the tip over by Shelby Knuckles. And then the service error by Dove Creek still keeps Eads within 1. Every court but the 4A court looks like it's going to go 4 or has gone 4. The 4A court looking like it's going to end in a sweep in their opening match. Set far side, Shelby Knuckles with the tip attack. Joust at the net, dropped outside the line from Shelby Knuckles. Every match of the state tournament can be seen on CHSAA.tv, where you're watching it now. Tell your friends, tell your family, we've got every match, every court. Full play-by-play. Madison Young with the free ball over for the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Near side, Hansen with the big attack. Banged off the block. It sits on the net cord, rolls into the antenna. That means it's out. And Eads takes a 1-point advantage. Back to serve for the Eagles goes Dorian Ray. Free ball back over by Madison Young. Near side set, Hansen with the attack off the block, winged out, and a free ball be played over. Checked up high, and the attack through the block at the net and down from Madison Young. Young starting to play some pretty good volleyball at the net. After a rough start. That was his Dove Creek team, a little bit of a rough start. First time here since 2008, but they're starting to find it. Back set far side, Hansen not going to get a good attack as the back set got on top of her way too quick. And Dove Creek takes the advantage once again. Jessica Gwines with the serve near side, 2 wide and out. Hansen hammers the serve down the far side. Ball set up, the attack banged off the block of the net. Chased down by the Eagles and a free ball. No, a 2-hit violation on the set. The line serve will be line deep. Short tip over by the Eads Eagles. Far side set for Fury. She'll hammer it deep, 2 deep and out. Which team's going to take the advantage? Lift ball ace. As the Eads Eagles will take the edge here early in the fourth, down 2-1. Ball flied way too deep and out for the Eads Eagles. Alyssa Splitter. Set down the middle, tip far line. Nice tip for the Eads Eagles by Kaylin Lane. Dove Creek read it well, though. They'll come back to Lane on the near post this time. She'll angle it far side. Back set onto the near post for the Dove Creek Bulldogs, and Carissa Gwines able to put it down for a kill. And then an ace for the Dove Creek Bulldogs, rose them a 2-point advantage. How about another ace? Split the back row. The Eagles caught looking at one another. And who is it once again? Madison Young. The Eagles field the serve, and the attack too wide and out. And a timeout taken by the Eads Eagles. Our state tournament coverage is presented in part by College in Colorado. Explore your career options for sports broadcasting to electrician to nurse. Take a virtual campus tour of a college and find financial aid at collegeincolorado.org. That's collegeincolorado.org. You also want to make sure that you don't forget about Adams State University celebrating their diverse student population, academic excellence, and athletic success. ASU is focused on treating each student as a unique individual with the potential to positively contribute to their community, nation, and world. For more information, visit adams.edu. That's adams.edu. I'm Ben Blecker. This is state volleyball coverage on CHSAA.tv. Fleming and Wiley standing in the wings awaiting our next match. Back to serve out of the timeout goes Madison Young for Dove Creek. Tip set over by the Eads Eagles and Alyssa Splitter. Big attack down the middle from Dove Creek and Madison McCourt. Set near side and over the top of the block went the Eads Eagles and Kaylin Lane. At the net, the block by Marissa Dixon results in a lift ball for Dove Creek. Ends the run, and Dixon will give herself the serve. Off wide short near side, popped up, kept in play, but not going to be able to get it over in three are the Dove Creek Bulldogs, and Eads is back within two. Little errors at this level of play in the state tournament can cost you a match. Dove Creek got to get right back on track right here if they want to win this in four. Set far side, the attack into the net. They did not. Jennifer Fury with the hitting error, and Eads is within one. Eads committed just a couple minor errors in the second set, and look at what he did for Dove Creek. They're hoping they can take a couple minor errors here. That's now three straight minor errors. Two serve receive errors and a hitting error for Dove Creek. They've been able to parlay that into a tie. Now they'll try and use some of their ability to make the move as a timeout. Nope, a substitution, not a timeout. Anna Lee going to come on for Dove Creek. Ball line deep from Marissa Dixon. Tip free. Far side. And a misplay on the set. Two Eagle players standing there. Neither of them got a hand on it. Line serve deep, too deep and out for Dove Creek. So either side committing a couple errors here in the fourth. Dove Creek trying to find the official to check in as Jennifer Fury is going to come back on. Kaylin Lane gets the serve. Lane lines the ball down the middle, popped up high, back row. Set it up in the attack, floated over the top of the block of the net by Jessica Gwines. Near side attack, big swing by Hansen. Kept up, they'll come back to Hansen on the near side. She'll put it off the block again, and the block in the net gives Eads the advantage. Kaylin Lane, top spin serve far side. Set up on the attack, hammered and clipped the net cord. Nicely dug out by the Eads Eagles, but a two-hit violation. Hansen, the hitter, tagged with the hitting violation on the set. Jennifer Fury will step back to serve for Dove Creek. Short top popped out on the front row. Hansen near side over the top of the block. Ball chased down, set up, and a big swing down the middle from Shelby Knuckles. The re-attack back from Ebony Nash for Eads. Dug out and quick free to the back corner and nearly goes into the stands. Dove Creek taking the 1-point advantage once again. Fury lines a serve near side, popped up back row. Set up, and Hansen and Nash both going for the attack. Near side, the attack tipped over. Ball popped up, and at the net, the ball too big and out for Eads, pardon me. They were off of them and out. And Dove Creek has a 16-14 advantage. Near side, Hansen with the attack. Popped off the block at the net. Set up and down the middle, Shelby Knuckles will free it deep. Chased down back row by Kaylin Lane for Eads. Near side, Hansen with the attack. She'll push it through the block. Set up far side and a free ball clipping the net cord. Rolled over and a free ball back over by Hansen from Eads. Set down the middle and a big swing down and in for a kill from Shelby Knuckles. And Dove Creek is just 8 points away from taking this match in 4. Line serve down the middle, too big and out. You have an opportunity to grow a 4-point lead at this point in the match. Got to make sure you play that serve in the right position. Right now you just gave Eads every opportunity. Far side set for Dove Creek and Jessica Gwines off the block and out. Nice use of the block to get the kill. Back to serve will go Carissa Gwines. Gwines flies it near side, popped up back row. Set up on the near side, and Hansen hammering it off the block. Ball chased down. Set down the middle. Shelby Knuckles blocked back by Nash, and a set play deep by Madison Young. Near side, the swing hammered down the line by Hansen. Young will tip it back over on the second hit. They'll come back to Hansen near post again. She goes through the block and down and in for a kill this time. And hands a serve to Dorian Ray. Ray flies a serve too big and out for the Eads Eagles. Jessica Gwines will line the serve down the middle. Set up on the near side, and Dixon with the big attack. 3 free back over by the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Set down the middle and the big swing. Hammer far side by Dixon. Kept up and a free ball tip down the line by McCourt. Set for Hansen. Her big swing dug out back row by Kristen Knuckles and freed over by Madison Young. Tip back over quickly on the set by Haley Ray and got it to go. Dove Creek going to use their first timeout of the fourth to try and quell the Eads momentum and take this one in 4. Our state championship coverage is provided in part by Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. We'll be there the day you buy your first car, the day your first child is born, and the day you file your first claim. There to make sure your insurance coverage keeps up with all the changes in your life is Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. Get the real coverage you need. First time in a while for both of these programs getting to the state tournament. Quite a while for the Eads Eagles. It's been the early 90s since they made it to state. Dove Creek was last year in 2008. They get rewarded by playing each other in the opening match of the day. Eagles with the serve out of the timeout. Hansen will side it near side. Far set for Madison McCourt. She uses the block, gets the kill. And Dove Creek is 5 points away. from winning in 4. Shelby Knuckles back to serve. Knuckles lines it down the middle. Set up in the attack from Kaylin Lane. Rolls the net cord and could not be pancaked out on the front row. You got to get lucky sometimes to get good. See if the Eagles can take that luck and parlay that into success. Alyssa Splitter back with the serve. She'll line it deep. Far side set hammered into the net by Jennifer Fury, and Eads 1 point away from tying it up here in the 4th. Onto the floor will come Anna Lee once again for the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Serve from Splitter, far side. Dug out at the net, hammered down by Dixon, block in the net. She won't get the kill, but a point is a point. And it's a tie at 20. Ball line down the far side. Miscommunication on the Dove Creek side. Two players collide with one another, and Dove Creek going to take their second timeout. They now find themselves down 21-20. State volleyball coverage is presented in part by Viera Wireless, the company that offers the best coverage. 4G is now here, and it's fast. All over the state of Colorado. Find out more at viero.com. That's VIAERO.com. First set went the way of Eads, 25-18. Second and third the way of Dove Creek, 25-19 and 25-16. Eagles back with the serve, and it'll be line deep. Popped up back row. The setup down the middle, the attack punch deep by Dixon. 2 wide and out, so 21 all. Pretty pivotal points right here for both teams. Madison Young will take the serve. You kind of get the feeling that if this goes 5, Eads has the advantage because the way they've started to come back around. Line serve deep, popped up high, back row. Eagles with the attack from Kaylin Lane, tipped over, can't be winged out. The Eagles take a 22-21 advantage. Back to serve will go Marissa Dixon. The senior lines it deep. The attack from Madison McCourt, dug out by Dixon. Set onto the near side, over the top of the block goes Kaylin Lane, and a misplayed set. The ball goes through the hands of Madison Young, and Eads takes a 2-point advantage. Serve far side, stepped up and played by the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Set it up in a free ball, be floated by Young. Turned in a tip back over by Alyssa Splitter. Young will set it up near side. The attack line toward the far corner, 2 wide and out by Carissa Gwines. And it's set point to send us to the 5th. Eads Eagles up by 3. Ball line far side, misplayed ace, and the Eads Eagles have battled back to force the 5th, 25-21. Heck of a way to start the state volleyball tournament. We'll be back with that 5th set, the decisive 5th set between Dove Creek and Eads on CHSAA.tv. Somebody has to win in the opening match of the Class 1A State Volleyball Tournament. I'm Ben Bleck as we come back here on CHSAA.tv. Coverage of all 75 matches in the State Volleyball Tournament on CHSAA.tv. This match number 1 on the 1A court as the 8th-seeded Eads Eagles took the first and then had to battle back after losing the next 2. Dove Creek will be going left to right here in the 5th, but will be starting with the serve. And they will be starting with the serve in the hands of Jennifer Fury. Fury lines the ball on the far side, popped up, set onto the near side, Hansen, and into the net on the set, I believe went Alyssa Splitter. The Eagles have 2 setters on the floor, Splitter and Haley Ray. Dove Creek taking the opening point, and then a line violation on the serve. Jennifer Fury stepped on the line on the serve. Got to have your entire foot behind the line on the serve. Foot fault. 1-all, serve far side, fielded by the Bulldogs, and they'll free it over. Kristen Knuckles, the libero, last to touch it. 2 players for the Eads Eagles, both going for the ball, colliding. And Dove Creek takes the advantage. Line serve far side, popped up high. Set it up, and Hansen will free it over, and the free ball drops down. The Eads Eagles have squared it up here in the 5th. Back to serve will go Durian Ray for the Eads Eagles. Ray finds the serve far side, popped up high, back row. Set it up, and the push through the block at the net for the Dove Creek Bulldogs. Set up near side, Hansen hammers it through, can't be winged out, and Hansen getting a nice swing to give Eads the advantage. The Eads Eagles, only match today, to have a bad taste in your mouth if it was a loss. Dove Creek has to turn around and play Weldon Valley, the number 1 overall seed. That'd be a rough turnaround as well off a loss. So both these teams trying to leave everything they got out there. Hansen will hammer it deep. Ball freed out and then tipped back over by Shelby Knuckles for Dove Creek. Set down the middle in the attack from Dixon. Dug out. Dixon will get the pop back down again. Dug out again by Dove Creek, and a free ball over by Madison Young. Checked up back row by Kaylin Lane. Hansen with the swing on the near side. Hops the net cord. Gets it to drop back-to-back kills, and Eads takes the advantage here in the 4th. Line serve popped up and a free ball played down the line, trying to check it up, and Eads Eagles players end up all over the floor on one another. The kill goes to Shelby Knuckles for Dove Creek, and ends the serve to Jessica Goins. Dove Creek looking for the tie here in the 5th. Line popped up, near side tip over. And down the middle, Knuckles hammers it into the net. Rotation violation on Dove Creek will give Eads a 6-3 advantage. Mental errors are killing Dove Creek. That's what allowed Eads to come from behind at 20-17 in the 4th and force this 5th. 2 receive errors and a hitting error. And now mental errors have given Eads the lead. Free ball over by Shelby Knuckles. Popped up high on the back row. Set far side. The big swing blocked at the net by the Bulldogs. Set up near side. The Eagles hammer deep from Kaylin Lane. 2 wide and out. So Dove Creek will take that point on the air. Onto the floor for the Eads Eagles will come Chelsea Crosby, replacing Hansen on the back row. Shelby Knuckles will line the serve deep. Near side set on the attack for Kaylin Lane, able to put it down off the block. And Eads will make a substitution, or we'll see a substitution made by Dove Creek and Anna Lee. before the serve of Alyssa Splitter. Splitter lines the serve, far line. Lee will keep it up, and the attack over by Shelby Knuckles. Chased down back row by Dorian Ray. Freed over on the set by Alyssa Splitter. Set far side, Lee with the swing down the line. Ball popped up back row by the Eagles, and the attack hammered back over by Marissa Dixon. Checked out back row set down the middle. Shelby Knuckles off the block at the net. Madison McCord off the block at the net, and then could not be dug cleanly off that block. And Eads takes a 4-point advantage. Timeout taken by Dove Creek. Well, a 5-setter to opening up the state volleyball tournament will put you a little bit behind schedule. Fleming and Wiley slated to start right now. Wiley's been standing on the end of this court since the second set of this one. Fleming came out at the end of the third set, stood around a little bit in the fourth set, walked back to the locker room, came back out toward the end of the fourth set, walked back out to the locker room. Teams just milling, waiting for their turn on the floor here on the 1A court. Eads Eagles up 8-4 out of the Dove Creek timeout. And Alyssa Splitter continuing with the serve. Splitter flies the ball far side. Dugout back row. Set up in a free ball by Annalee. Played down the line for Dove Creek. Can't be played cleanly on the back row. And Dove Creek will give the serve to Madison Young. She got the nice run on serve to start the second, which gave Dove Creek a ton of momentum. Young will back set it, and a free ball will be played deep by Jessica Gwines. Cannot be played cleanly. Is that Carissa? That's Carissa Gwines. Jessica's on the bench. Line serve down the middle. Dove Creek within two. Chased down by Dorian Ray, and a free ball tipped over, down and in for a kill by Kaylin Lane. Back to serve goes Marissa Dixon. Line near side, popped up high, back row. Setting a free ball, played down the line. Near side, the attack from Kaylin Lane, played toward the back corner, but too big and out. A hitting error for Eads keeps them in it. For Dove Creek, you could get that to go down and get a 3-point advantage. Or a 4-point advantage, pardon me, would have been huge. Had a 3. Near side swing for Ebony Nash over the top of the block, puts it down, grows it back out to 3. Eads 5 points away from moving themselves into the matchup tomorrow morning with Weldon Valley at 1-0. Line serve down the middle, popped up high, back row, set for Anna Lee, and she'll free it just over the top of the block of the net. Ball checked out back row, tip over the top, and a carry. That's a carry. She was also a back row player, so 2 potential violations there from Madison Young. They call the carry. 11-7 Eads, 4 points away. Kaylin Lane with the serve down the middle, popped up high, back row, and a free ball, lift ace is going to be the call. Three points away are the Eads Eagles. Anna Lee will free it over, popped up high, back row. Set near side, and Hansen will tip it over and down. Beautiful play by Hansen, and a timeout by Dove Creek as they are 2 points away from falling to 0-1 with a matchup with the number 1 ranked team in this classification, or number 1 seeded team in this classification, I should more accurately state, the Weldon Valley Warriors. It's not a team you want to be facing at 0-1. They lost their first match to a 1A team for the first time all year last weekend. Back to serve for Eads. Will go Kaylin Lane. Lane lines the ball down the far side, popped up high, back row for Dove Creek by Shelby Knuckles in the attack far line from Jessica Gwines. Dug out back row for Eads, set near side for Hansen. The attack down the line in for a kill. Match points for Eads. Eads got up 25-18 in the first, and then the wheels fell off. It put them back on, and they've been rolling. Lines her down the middle, popped up high, back row, set up down the middle for Anna Lee over the top of the block, down and in for a kill. One staved off for Dove Creek. They went on a 5-0 run before dropping 25-18. They were down 24-13 in the first. Anna Lee will line the serve deep. Ball popped up high, back row, set it up for Hansen, and her attack hops the net cord and down on the Eads side. Another staved off. Anna Lee back to serve once again. Line down the middle, checked up high, back row for the Eads Eagles and Kaylin Lane. Hansen will tip it down the line, popped up on the front row by Madison Young. Set flat free over by Shelby Knuckles, pancaked out near side. Hansen not going to get a good swing, but the Dove Creek block run into the net, and that violation will end it for Eads 15-9 here in the fifth. 25-18, 19-25, 16-25, 25-21, and 15-9. Eads moves to 1-0. Dove Creek to 0-1. Eads' next match will be tomorrow morning at 9:30. Dove Creek gets one off. They'll be back on against Weldon Valley in match number 3 of the day. I'm Ben Blecka. This is the 1A State Volleyball Tournament on CHSAA.tv.